What makes an animal the type of animal it is? Is it the genetic makeup, how it breeds, or even the characteristics of the animal? I'll tell you it's all of these things, although there are some oddities within our animal kingdom. There are oddities both there are oddities and phenomenons genetically, sexually, and even characteristically. For example, according to jellyfish.org, that jellyfish don't have a heart or a brain and are mainly made up of water and proteins. And according to 3luckyranch.com, a mule is a crossbreed between a donkey and a horse. How weird is that? But we aren't going to talk to you today about jellyfish or mules. We're here to talk about ligers. Much like mules, ligers are a crossbreed of two big cats. Sort of like how you can crossbreed dogs, but they're not dogs, they're two big cats. We are going to talk about genetically how these animals came around, the results of the genetic crossbreeding, how these animals breed, and the characteristics of the liger. What are genetics? Genetics is the buildup of all living organisms, from DNA to alleles and to chromosomes. Now, we all know that everyone has these commonalities, and every living creature has them as well. But genetics varies between species, and even within a species. For example, my DNA will be different to someone in the classroom. But the amount of chromosomes is a different case. In humans, we have 22 pairs of chromosomes and one pair that varies. These are our sex chromosomes. Men have an XY pair, and women have an XX pair. This makes for a total of 23 pairs of chromosomes. Now, there is also something known as crossbreeding. Like a crossbreed of a dog, there are a few such examples as mules, being crossbreed of horse and donkey, as well as ligers. But what is a liger? A liger is a crossbreed of a male lion and a female tiger. Although you can also have a male tiger crossbreed with a female lion, this results in a different animal called a tigon. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. Although lions and tigers are made up of the same genus, they are of completely different species. Much like the mule, being a cross-hybrid breed of donkey and horse, the mule is the combination of a horse and a donkey. Although the horse has 64 chromosomes and the donkey has 62, the mule has 63 chromosomes and renders the mule completely sterile and unable to breed. But does this happen with ligers? And if mules and donkeys have similar environments, how do ligers come about? Both lions and tigers come from the same genus. Both lions and tigers have a total of 38 chromosomes, or 19 pairs. Seeing as there are the correct amount of chromosomes, this gives reason for ligers to be able to breed, unlike mules. But mules come from a horse and a donkey, which have similar environments and can be found in the same place. Whereas lions are found in Africa and tigers are found in Asia. So the only way for a liger to come around in this world is by breeding lions and tigers in captivity. Ligers are able to breed, and the offspring are known as liligers. The father was a lion and the mother was a female liger. The world's first liliger was born in a Russian zoo and proved the idea of ligers being sterile and null and void. But the reason they can breed is because of the fact that both parents have the same amount of paired chromosomes. If the paired chromosomes were different, then the animal would be sterile and unable to breed, much like mules.
Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about the characteristics of the liger. The characteristics of these animals vary since the liger can get its traits from different species of lions and tigers. They can reach up to 1,300 pounds and 13 feet in length, which makes them by far the longest and heaviest cat species in the world according to the Guinness Book of World Records. In fact, in Miami, a liger named Hercules is the biggest cat in the world, weighing over 900 pounds, which is twice the size of any normal male lion. Despite being so huge, their long bodies actually help them run, allowing them to be the second fastest cats in the world, reaching speeds up to 50 miles per hour. Ligers can have some of the same characteristics of a normal lion or tiger. For instance, their color is usually made up of tan golden line coloring with the tiger's candle stripe flames and spots. They are said to have the face of a lion with the body of a tiger. Some dominant characteristics that it inherits from its lion parent are its lion roar, the typical lion mane, and the fluff at the end of their tails. According to some liger handlers, the liger sometimes gets confused between its lion personality and its tiger personality. For example, the liger inherits a love for the water, which comes from its tiger parent, but sometimes it takes for the tiger side of the personality to convince the lion side that water is actually a good thing. Many of the handlers would describe them as gentle giants who are very social and playful, but when their personalities clash, they can exhibit odd and unpredictable behaviors. The breeding characteristics of the liger are very unique. Since the liger is created from breeding two different species of animals at once, there are some drawbacks to the offspring. Male ligers are typically sterile and have low amounts of testosterone. The female liger are fertile, but they cannot mate with their male liger counterparts, so they must reproduce with another male lion or tiger. Liger cubs usually grow to be bigger than their parents due to a condition called gigantism that is caused by the hybridization. The sad part about these animals is that they are only known to live up to 20 years old because they usually develop health complications from effects of hybridization.
Now I would like to talk to you about ligers and how they breed. I'm going to pick off where Adam left off about fertilization and sterilization. On the website hubpages.com, they say that ligers, being a hybrid, are sterile. Well, a female liger can reproduce, but sadly its male counterpart cannot. Cannot at all. And up until this day, no male liger that is fertile has ever been discovered. Next, I would like to talk to you about the difficulties of a liger mating. I believe that tigers and lions would not get along at all. I mean, lions and tigers live in two different places for a reason. Lions live in sub-Arabia, Africa, while tigers live in Asia and Russia, far east, in increasingly fragmented and insulated populations. And that little detail was provided to you by the WWF Global. I mean, how would a lion and tiger come together and mate on their own without humankind, without help from humankind? Well, some people think crossbreeding between the two are all because of humans, but some people don't believe that at all. They believe it's natural for a lion and tiger to mate. Next, I will be talking to you about reproduction. We all know that cats in general reproduce many cubs, 2 being their least and 4 being their high. While people go about producing ligers all willy-nilly, they don't take into consideration about the offspring of this coupling. This coupling will come out. So, of course, the offspring is very fragile and sickly. Most liger cubs don't make it out of their first week. Also, most big cats depend on their mother for a couple weeks after birth, but liger cubs depend on their mother for a whole year. Well, in 1943, a female liger successfully mated to a male lion, and they called this cub a Liliga, or that's what I think it is pronounced. Next, I will be talking about why it is wrong to breed a liger. According to Upcast.com reports even experts worldwide condemn breeding ligers as an unhealthy practice. I would like to believe everyone would agree with the expert because it's sort of like animal cruelty, but without actually physically hurting your animal. So in conclusion, ligers are a very unique animal that can be dated back to the 19th centuries when a liger was brought before King William IV and his successor Queen Victoria. There are many things about a liger that can be considered unique and one of a kind, like how they act more like a liger, lion, or a tiger, and the distinct difference between them and other cats. The liger will always be remembered as the most largest cat hybrid and one of the most fortunate of hybrids.